Hey there. If you follow us on our YouTube channel or our website, you know that my name is Scott Talley. I am the owner broker here at 5Market Realty, where we like to do monthly market updates for our past clients, people that are in the market right now, or really anybody that's interested in Athens area real estate. You can follow us here on our YouTube channel by clicking subscribe. We do this each month to keep people informed about what we're seeing and really keep people up to date on home prices and things very pertinent to the Athens area real estate market. So we're going to get started today. This is the December market update. So we're going to have a lot of information we can look back on for the past year. And we're also going to look at some national information like we do from Keeping Current Matters. And right here to the side, we're going to talk about rate cuts, price cuts, builder incentives. 2026, here we come, and a lot of information about buyers because the market is actually a lot better from the buyer side than most people realize. And that's some of the information you're going to see here today. Now, we're going to go ahead and get started. If you know, we like to track four main things, Clark and Oconee County, over the past 3 years and compare them and see how things are changing. That is, of course, new listings, days on market, total homes sold, and, of course, the average sale price. So let's pull it up here for 2025. And what we've got here is the same trend. You're seeing new listings was down when compared to last year, only about 1.5%. The big story here is days on market, which was 56 days year to date. This is just about 22% above last year. Continuing trend, you're going to see days on market has been going up. And one more thing to point out here, look at this price appreciation, staying flat. As we told you in other past videos, about 2.5%. And that might sound bad, but it's actually good because we need prices to flatten out for home buyers. And again, we were down almost 9% on yearly sales when compared to 2024, but very much on par with 2023, which again is something we talked about in a lot of these videos, is how 2023 in Athens and 2025 have mirrored each other. Look at the month of November, just the month of November comparing the 3 years. Total listings was flat at 123 to 123. And again, the same trend continues. Days on market in the month of November was about 13% over last year, getting to about 60 days. We're going to dive into that a little bit more about area in a second. But then again, look at the average sold price for the month of November. It actually went down about 2% when just comparing the month to last year. And again, the total amount of homes sold was down almost 26% when compared to 2024. And then look, 84 sales, Clark and Oconee County combined, 81 sales in 2023. Again, 2023, 2025, not great years in transaction count as we're seeing. Now, we do this to kind of track what the inventory has been doing. And this is about the total amount of homes that are for sale, active, not active contingent, that don't have a contract. This was pulled early December. And I would say, even though it says it's 411, that was probably December 5th. It could be down below 400 by now because this is December 11th or 12th. And a lot of people just come off the market for the holidays. So we're going to see this number bounce back in January. And as you can see, I'm just comparing this to last December. It's 11% above last December. And you look here, 473, 477, 486 in May, June, July. We just about got over that 500 count for Clark and Oconee County, and I think we will next year. I really think 2026 is going to be a very different market, and in a lot of ways, good with inventory and good with more transactions. Now, this is something I also want to show you. It's a lot of information, and it's about monthly sales in our area and how that has significantly changed from what became an expectation to some people in 2020, 21, 22. So follow me over here on the right side. You can see the colors here, mainly blue and this gold. Look how high they up here. These monthly sale counts were so high in 2020 and 2021. And then when we get to 2022, that's the green. Let's look at this green line right here. Follow me right here in May. What happened in 2022, April, May? Those interest rates went up a whole percentage overnight. And you can see this green line in 2022 was still a good year in real estate for sales. It still went sharply down towards the second half of the year. But then look at these other colors. 2025 is right here. And this yellow is 2023. And you can see these counts, they never really get up anywhere near what we saw in 2020 or 2021. And overall, we've just seen less transactions, which is also helping the inventory build up, which is helping the pressure on prices going up slow down. So the days on market, the amount of sellers, and less buyers coming in the market has actually helped fix some of our affordability problems. Slowly but surely, we might be getting there. So here's a little prediction of what I think this line might look like next year. And let's take a look at that. I'm going to add a black line in here. And I can't predict 2026, but I do know the facts that we see. We're seeing negotiations. We're going to go into that. We're going to see people having to come down on list price on certain properties. And I think in 2026, with a better interest rate climate, they just cut interest rates yesterday. We're also going to see more inventory. I think you're going to see more transactions. And instead of these lines being much lower, like we've seen the last 2 or 3 years, probably going to be a little healthier, higher transaction count market. So let's go ahead and dive into what I was talking about being a little better out there for buyers than they realize. So this is the percentage of asking price so far in the year, Clark and Oconee County, 5 points, East Athens, normal town. So you can see here, Clark and Oconee County both, not combined, the average sold price was about 5% or 95% of the original asking price. What might surprise you is if you look here in 5 points, 5 points has the stigma of being more expensive, higher prices, but they're actually getting less percentage of the original asking price. That's 9% off asking price. Folks, this can equate to 50 plus 100, even up to $100,000 depending on the asking price. And over here, East Athens and normal town at 96%, that can still equate to 20 grand depending on some of these asking prices. There are negotiations going on, and it's better out there for buyers in this market than you may realize. And now we're going to come here and look at the days on market, which is correlated with the price. So again, Clark County, 67 days on market as a whole is the average. Come over here to East Athens and normal town, right there at the same at 60 days. And then look again at 5 points. That's getting over 80 days. Again, highly desirable area, but higher prices means longer market time. If you've been on the market and you're not seeing a buyer, you need to examine your price. You might need to take that 2-run home run and stop trying for the grand slam, because most sellers are still going to do well. It's just a matter of getting the price right where the buyer is going to come to the table with you. I wanted to also note is 65 days in Oconee County. I didn't put it on here, but that's right in line with Clark. So I did add that as a little note. And this is where we're going to get into the keeping current matters. This is national information. This is where I want to kind of inform anybody that is thinking about being in the market, or even home sellers, that you need to be aware that buyers are starting to get some more power. You might not think that because it is property dependent. I mean, some things are highly desirable, some little niche markets, but overall, buyers are starting to gain some more power in these negotiations. According to Zillow, affordability for home buyers reached a 3-year high here at the end of the year, a 3-year high for affordability. The opportunity that home buyers have right now is out there, and I'm not sure most people are aware of it. We need buyers to know, and we need sellers to understand the market they could be entering. Last November, there was this much inventory on the market was 2019. This growing inventory puts downward pressure on listing prices, which have been basically stagnant for the past 3 years, and upward pressure on time on market. That's what we've been talking about: days on market, number of listings, home prices flattening out. And with this has returned things to a pre-pandemic level. This is Joel Berner at Realtor.com. And home buyers found more options as the number of actively listed homes rose 15.3% compared to the same time last year, again from Realtor.com. We're seeing more listings, we're seeing more market time, we're seeing negotiations, and we're also seeing interest rates improve. These are all good signs that a lot of people in our industry have been waiting for since 2022. Now, the inventory topped 1 million for the 6th consecutive month. And this is from Keeping Current Matters and Realtor.com again. But as you can see here, this listing count has been slowly building up. What happened is we had such a demand, we had low listings, and there are plenty of people that are not looking to sell anytime soon. But we are seeing people break loose and that need to sell. And this is actually helping our listing count return to a historical norm. This is not a market crash. This is good. This is normal. This is what we want to happen. Median days on market also going up. This is October of each year going back to 2017. So if you look on this side of my head, you see 2017 was 68 days. Look at 2025, 63 days. Where's the outliers? It's right below me. It's COVID. So we're getting back to a more normal market. There are probably realtors in the business and real estate professionals who don't know what real estate was before 2020. Well, get ready. You're about to find out. Negotiations, contingency contracts, price reductions, incentives, and things where people are looking to sell their house and will work with buyers to get it done. Regional trends, time on market keeps ticking up. This is just looking across the country from Keeping Current Matters. The average we saw across the country of days on market was 5 days below my head. Midwest and Northeast did a little better at only going up 2 days. Here in the South, it was also up 5 days, and in the West, it's going up 8 days. So trend is happening across the country. Percentage of listings with price cuts, October of each year. Look here at 2025, we saw 20%. Look back under my head at 2018, 21%. Where's our outlier in these price cuts? It's in COVID, 2020, 2021. These price cuts back at normal levels. This is returning to form. This is a returning to normal. This is not a sign of something bad. This is a very good sign if you're sitting in real estate as a buyer and just as a seller. Understand your area, your neighborhood. You might have, depending on your house, you might have a lot of power negotiations, but you might have to give 2 to 3% on something to get it done. Just keep in mind how the market is changed at this point. Now, our price reductions have begun to show some uniformity by region, and this is the percentage of listings with price reductions. The U.S. average right now is 20%. And then you look across the board, it's a little over 21% in the South and 21% in the West. So these price reductions are kind of falling back in line with a more normal past what we saw. And this is really where we're going to end right after about 10 minutes. Thanks for sticking with me. This is important if you are someone that is thinking about getting in the market, because 41% of builders reported cutting prices in November, a record high in the post-COVID period, and the first time this measure has passed 40%. Meanwhile, the average price reduction was 6% in November, the same rate as the previous month. The use of sales incentives was 65% in November, tying the share in September and October. What we're talking about is new construction. And I don't think people realize how much new construction and homes and builders, especially large builders, are being aggressive with incentives, rate buy downs, closing costs, offering selling agent bonuses. These were things we have not seen in our market really since pre-2011. And this is a good sign for buyers. It doesn't mean you're going to steal a house. It means you're probably going to pay a fair price and then catch some incentives that might help with the affordability, the cost of the loan, the price, upgrades, numerous things. So if you are thinking about entering the market, be aware of new construction, and sellers and buyers, you got to come to the table and find the price. You also have to understand some properties are unique and are going to get that number quickly. Others might take that 60 days we're seeing, and it doesn't mean that the buyers have all the leverage, but it's a little bit more fair at the table right now, and that's something we like to see. It's really how a market should behave. And this is, again, our group, 5M Realty. Thanks for sticking with me for so long, a little over closing on 12 minutes. Wow. But anybody in this video can help you. We really think 2026 is going to be a higher transaction year. So if you're thinking of buying and selling, reach out to this group, 5mrealty.com, info@5mrealty.com. Thank you again. Dogs beat Bama last weekend. Great to see. Hopefully, next time we do a market update, the Dogs will have won their next game, and we'll be looking forward to playing either Miami or Ohio State. Have a great holiday season. Happy New Year. Thanks for sticking with me now. Officially 12 minutes.